Hello and welcome. I'm Nitin Gokhale and I'm privileged to be in the world's largest forging facility, that is Bharat Forge of the Kalyani Group. And I'm again honored to be joined by Baba Kalyani, Chairman and Managing Director of the Kalyani Group or the Bharat Forge. So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to look at your plant. We know that this is a world-class company. It's a global company. I think one of the first MNCs in India. And I want to start with asking you, what is your spread of the business as far as the global footprints are concerned?
See, we normally have been operating largely in the automotive space, component space. So we are a big supplier of automotive components, largely critical components, what is called as the 5 Cs.
Okay.
Rotating components, stressed components, chassis components, safety components, to all the big OEMs. So we supply to all the OEMs in Germany, like Mercedes, like Audi, like BMW. Then in Sweden to Volvo, Scania. In Italy to Fiat, Iveco. And of course, in the United States, too.
You're there.
We are there.
You're there.
So we have our factories in Europe. We have 6 plants in Europe.
Right.
4 in Germany, 1 in France, 1 in Sweden. We have 2 plants in the United States.
Wow.
And of course, we have half a dozen plants in India.
And obviously, these companies don't give you orders year after year, decades after decade, if the quality and the satisfaction that they won't have in the product.
That's true. So, I mean, there is nothing more stringent than a top-level automotive company.
Right.
Because their tolerance to a bad product is very, very low.
I'm sure. So, and you've been doing this for decades. So, when you started off, I mean, I think more than half a century ago, as yourself and carrying on from your father's original business, what was the atmosphere at that point in time, and what is the change you have seen over the years?
See, I've been through right from 1972 till now. So I've seen from 1972 to 1991 the entire license Raj regime, as it was called. And it was extremely difficult to do anything technological, anything innovative. Because even if you wanted to import a CNC machine from somewhere, you had to go and sit in Delhi, make an application, convince somebody in DGTD, as it was called in those days.
Yes.
And that someone would not understand ABC of what you're talking about.
Right.
But he had the authority to say yes or no, whether you can import a machine or not.
True.
So I think from those days to post-liberalization under Narasimha Rao's government, with Mr. Manmohan Singh as his finance minister, I think things changed very dramatically.
Right.
That is when after that liberalization, we decided that as a company, if we want to grow, we need to be global. And we started our global thrust in the early 90s, more like 93, 94 after liberalization. We invested a lot of capital in modern equipment because it became very easy to import equipment and do things. There were no import licenses required. You just had to place an order. If you had money, you could do that. So things became very easy. What earlier used to take 5 years, now you could do it in 1 year.
Okay.
So the kind of time
the facilitation
collapsed.
was important.
Yeah, exactly. And that prompted us to say we must now become a global company supplying components to the global OEM. And we started with that. We wanted to be amongst the top 5 companies in our field. But very soon we found that we were very successful. We were getting a lot of orders, a lot of business. And by the end of the decade of the 90s, early 2000, we were virtually number 1 in this game.
Oh, wow. Therefore, the largest forging company. It's a reputation.
And then we decided that why not have a physical presence in other geographies?
Right.
Because that will then allow us to keep track with all the modern technologies that the OEMs are working with.
Right.
So we decided to have plants in Germany, Germany is the most technologically advanced market in this field. Of course, then in Sweden. Sweden is also very technologically advanced. And then, of course, the United States, the biggest market in the world.
Okay. Do you have some presence in Japan also?
No, we used to have a presence in China.
Oh, and what happened there?
We were there for 9 years. A lot of hard work.
Right.
But honestly, it really wasn't
Worth your time?
Yeah, worth our time. So we sold the business back to the Chinese.
And what were the problems, if I may ask?
You know, we had a majority control in that plant.
Right.
And the other, we had 52% and 48% was owned by a government-owned plant.
Right.
And in China, it's very customary those days that the chairman of the company is the trade union leader.
Oh, okay. And this was previous decade or?
This was in the 90s, from
90s.
2000, in the early 2000s.
2000s, okay.
From 2005 to 2006 to 2015.
I see. Okay. So 9 years you were there,
9 years,
but you had that. So the chairman would be a trade union leader.
Yeah, but he didn't interfere much. But
Right.
you know, the problem was it was difficult. Decision making was difficult.
I'm sure.
Getting information was difficult. It wasn't easy.
Right. So you wound up from there. But your experience in Europe has been excellent.
It was very, very good in the beginning. Till I think the COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
I think post-COVID things have been quite rough in Europe.
In the sense of their economy going down or
Economy is
wages going up.
Economy going down, inflation going up, and people's willingness to work.
Oh, that is declining there.
Very, very badly declined.
Oh, that's surprising because Germany, like you said, engineering skills and
It is still, I would say, it is still on the top of the engineering skill capability. Still makes the best products in the world, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But things are getting difficult. I think Germany is also having a lot of challenges on the political scene internally.
Absolutely.
The multiple parties, some of them extremely right-wing.
Correct.
And right-wing parties have a very different agenda.
Sure.
So,
And it hampers decision making certainly.
yeah.
So let me come back to India and bring you to the question that I have uppermost in my mind is that you have this flourishing business in automotive industry. You're number one in the world, everything. What prompted you to come into defense? We are in a defense manufacturing.
we are in a defense shop, yes.
Yes. So,
it was purely a passion and a thought that kind of kindled in my mind that for so many years we've been importing so much of defense products and mainly in relation to guns.
Yeah.
And it all started with, we didn't want to make guns, we were trying to make barrels.
these barrels,
Because there was a large demand for barrels for T-72 tanks. The barrels
The
were
Russians wanted it.
No,
Oh,
in India.
in India.
The barrels were bursting,
Right.
the quality was bad, and they had shortage of barrels.
Right.
So we wanted to make a barrel.
Okay.
So I tried for 4 or 5 years to make barrels. I made a few barrels, but it never got anywhere for some reason.
Okay.
They always found a way to kind of scuttle it and get me out of this business.
Right.
And I got, it kind of really upset me, and some passionate spark inside me said, why the hell can't we make a gun?
Okay. Right.
And that's how we started. We started in 2011, 12.
Right.
2012 was the Defense Expo in Delhi, where we first exhibited our first gun that we made called Bharat 52. And then, of course, with Honorable Prime Minister's whole Make in India initiative.
Come 2014 and it started.
December 14.
Yes.
And then Mr. Parikar's entire reform process that happened in defense. I mean, he set up committees, we changed the defense procurement procedure.
Absolutely.
He did a lot of things to bring the whole private sector into play. And, it's very exciting those years. Because those are the years we could develop products, we could talk to the MOD, very freely.
Which became a norm, which
Yeah.
was not the norm earlier.
Exactly.
So, but making the gun is not easy, obviously. So, what did it take for you to do R&D or even bringing in some kind of knowledge from
See,
outside?
we've been doing R&D for last 11 years
Right.
in this, and we must have spent.
Is this one of those proofs of that R&D?
Yeah. This is actually ATAG. So this gun was designed by DRDO,
Right.
and we had a part to play in this along with Tata's.
Yes. Your development partners.
Yeah,
for this.
development partner.
Right.
But there's a lot of work that we had to do ourselves
Correct.
for this.
Yeah.
For example, the entire gun control computer system, the entire digital system for this gun was developed by us.
Right.
So ours is different and Tata's is different,
Okay.
but both are digital. So this is the first digital gun which is almost software driven.
Oh, that's the difference
That's
between the
difference.
earlier.
So you can change anything you want just by changing software.
Even your targets, your
Everything.
range,
Yeah,
everything can
everything.
be changed.
And it has got AI. The turning circle of the gun was reduced by using a very novel AI technique
Okay.
of putting two LVDTs and
Those-
connecting them to a triangle
Right.
to the towing vehicle.
Okay. Oh, that's innovation.
And we build our own algorithms
Uh-huh.
to do that.
Right.
So it's a combination of AI, digital, everything is digital.
Right.
We can control this gun with every millisecond.
Oh, this is lovely. So, I mean, your strength in forging
Yeah.
and making barrels
Yeah.
is now combined with the R&D that was
We set
done.
up a big design organization.
Right.
We are almost like 150 odd people,
Okay.
mainly MTech, PhDs, and working on even developing materials for the barrel
Right.
was a Herculean task
I'm sure.
because its performance has to be very, very, high level.
And also, the tolerance level for these
Yeah.
guns have to be for 30, 40 years
Exactly.
going
They
forward.
have to be very strong.
Yeah.
But we have developed 9 platforms. This is not
Right.
the only one.
Yeah, that's not, ATAX is
So
not only one.
This is the ultralight howitzer.
Right. This is
This is like the M777,
correct.
but in steel and at 1/3 the price.
See, that is the advantage of making it in-house or making it in India.
So
And,
this way we have multiple different platforms.
Right.
That's another ultralight, but that's I think with 52
Yes.
caliber.
Right.
Then of course we have our mounted gun systems.
Which is
We have 39 caliber, which we are exporting now.
Right.
It's our own design,
Correct.
completely designed by us,
Yes.
including the truck.
right.
And we have a 45 caliber on that.
Which is again another product which you've
our
done,
own design.
your own design. So this whole myth or misconception that has been created that the private sector does not do R&D.
Oh, we did massive R&D.
I mean, isn't this the
yeah,
proof
we must have spent about 700-800 crores.
in just doing the R&D? So
See, every gun you make,
mm,
it costs you about 15-20 crores.
right.
And you make 3-4 of them just for trials.
Right.
And you're not selling it to anybody.
Correct. Nobody has bought it so far.
So
Yeah.
it's got, you're already 100 crores
Correct.
down.
Exactly. No, but because of your passion, you could actually get that done because that hesitation is always there.
I think passion, but if we were aided tremendously by the policy changes of the government.
Okay.
What the Prime Minister did in Make in India, and then later on Atmanirbhar Bharat,
Right.
banning imports.
Correct.
That has been the biggest push to make this happen. And of course, latest is export policy.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a bit. I just wanted to take you to another aspect of your journey is the emphasis on excellence. Now, how do you ensure that in a country where it's not always, the emphasis is not meant to be, but how did you manage that in in
First
that
of all, I
atmosphere?
think we have an excellent team. Most of the key members of our team were pulled out from our existing plants.
Okay,
So the guy who heads this artillery,
right.
he used to work in our forging division.
Okay. And now he's the head
Now
of...
he's the head of our artillery division.
Okay.
So, he knows as much as about designing guns. He's got a group that is able to do ballistics,
Right.
the gun control computer systems, the electronic systems, the diagnostic system. I mean, we can almost design any type of gun right now. We have all the knowledge that is required.
So over these 7-8 years, you managed to
Last
do that.
one.
12
Yeah,
years.
12 years, yeah.
So he is the top, but there is a large group below him.
I'm sure.
Are those guys inside?
Yes, yeah. I'll just hint him first.
Maybe we can just walk.
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
just walk there. Yeah,
that's all.
sure. Okay. So, you know, the whole...
And the other thing we do,
Yeah,
if you have noticed,
yeah.
we use very modern technology for building guns. Everything is digital.
Okay.
So when you use digital, the question of making mistakes reduces quite dramatically.
Minimized, I would say.
We use wherever we can eliminate the man in terms of trying to do something, fiddling around, we have taken care of that.
Right,
So all instructions are given digitally on a screen.
right.
They have to follow, there is a SOP to follow,
Correct.
step-by-step process, and they follow that.
Yeah, so it's that, you know, the old style ruggedness combined with
If
the
you
digital.
went to a old-style factory,
Right.
you would see an assembly line with about 500 people,
And the noise.
and the noise. You will not see that here.
Right.
Actually, we are machining barrels there.
Okay, those are, I see.
That's the machining line for barrels.
Right.
This is the kind of machine barrels.
Okay.
Of course, this is our second line. We have
Yes.
another line
I'm sure.
to machine barrels.
So, but your own knowledge of engineering, I mean, you are a expert in that, right? When you did the forging business, you were leading and growing it. That also would have helped in the sense, you know, otherwise, you know, it's not easy to think about all this.
This is about 7,000 components,
This one?
guns.
Right. Okay, guns. Yeah.
And each component has to be designed,
Yes.
manufactured. Of course, we don't make all of it. We have
Right.
a lot of MSME partners.
Correct.
We have a lot of industrial partners.
Sure.
Like the engine of the gun is made by Cummins.
Right. Yes, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that, the hydraulics is made by a company in Belgaum.
Right. Belgaum is known as a capital of hydraulics in some
exactly,
senses.
exactly. And they do a good job.
Yeah. So,
And we work with these companies on a long-term basis. You know, we don't keep switching
right.
here and there.
No, so the advantage of being in Pune, in Maharashtra is also there, I suppose,
Yeah,
because of the grown you know, ecosystem. Oh, you got a
So these
large
are
team, big team.
Artillery Engineering Center. This is
Okay. Uh-huh.
part of it. So they do a lot of design engineering work,
Right,
and they're right next to the product.
right,
So
exactly.
that kind of helps.
So it's sort of, they can go to and fro when they
exactly,
want.
exactly.
That is how. But wonderful. I mean, so many people working on design. And there must be lots of learnings from, you know, the kind of trials that
Yeah,
have
yeah.
happened.
See, I mean, it's a complex process.
Yes.
We make a barrel.
Right.
The barrel has to, before we even make the gun,
Yeah.
the barrel has to go for proof testing.
Okay.
So the barrel has to go to Baraso,
Oh, I see.
and we have to fire it at P1 pressure. That means higher pressure than the actual pressure when it is going to be firing in actual
I see.
let's say,
Or
war.
yeah, the gun, I mean, in the field itself,
yeah.
where the application is there.
And all data has to be recorded. So it's
Okay.
kind of strain gauged, data recorded,
Right.
and every barrel goes through this process.
Okay. That's
And
wonderful.
then it comes back, gun is assembled, and then there is something called a factory acceptance test, FAT,
Right. Okay.
where every system of the gun is checked that it's working,
Okay.
everything is fine, and then the customer has to do his test,
Right.
and then it goes
Yes.
to CP-ITARC for firing again.
Okay.
The whole gun goes.
So the entire system then after integration would go there, I suppose, or after being made.
And then we have to fire about 25, 30 rounds.
Right. So these are the barrels also kept here.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, okay, the Indian government or MOD is yet to get into the order mode or placing orders for ATAGs or otherwise. But you've already started exporting
Yes.
guns. Now,
We
which
have
are those
exported.
guns?
We exported ATACs.
You exported ATAGs?
Yeah, we have exported 6 guns. The other 6 will go this month,
Right.
and we have a large order for the mounted guns.
Okay.
We have to export about 72 of these guns.
And again, in the mounted guns, your truck is your own.
Everything is our own.
Everything is your own.
The engine is made by Cummins.
Right.
Transmission is made by Allison in Aurangabad.
Right.
Tires are Indian.
Yes.
The truck we make
truck,
Yeah,
of course.
you know,
you
in
made.
a plant right behind.
Okay. And so, talking about trucks, you also M4 that you made for
Yes.
high altitude and for even for the Indian Army. That has also been inducted now in the
Yes,
Indian
it
Army.
is.
How was that experience of building a mobility platform?
It was different, but learnt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first vehicles, few vehicles we made, they were being used at Leh and Ladakh
Right.
at
Which
cold
is-
temperatures.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of learning to be done, but
Sure.
now we kind of become experts at it. So
And you got other specialized vehicles. I could
Yeah.
see one more vehicle there.
yeah, that's our 105 gun.
105, yeah. But
It's soft recoil
right.
technology, which is a technology that we have,
It's
which reduces the weight of the gun from 3 tons to 900 kilograms.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. I mean, it's a drastic, complete change.
So
in-
this is the vehicle is also made by us,
Okay.
and this vehicle is airdroppable. Matter of fact, next month it is going to
I think the
Agra
paras would
yeah,
use
for
this.
airdropping this vehicle.
Right.
And it's got a range of 17 kilometers.
Oh,
It's got all the electronic gizmos on top of it,
correct.
like the fire control system,
Okay.
aiming,
Oh, nice.
all that.
So the special forces will actually get enhancement of their firepower.
See,
in
we are
this.
using a very old 105 field gun.
Okay. Yeah. Quite old.
You know,
yeah.
it came from the Blitz, and then
That's right.
I think Indian Army DRDO kind of made it a little better.
Sure.
But it's a very awkward system. It requires a truck, special truck to
Correct.
tow the gun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where this thing, you know, you can move around anywhere.
Very mobile.
It takes
yes.
less than a minute to get into action.
True. True. No, I think you're sort of increasing the firepower, making
And
it more
we
efficient.
took it to Arunachal Pradesh, we took it to Sikkim
Okay.
at 18,000 feet, fired
Wonderful.
it there,
Yeah. Wonderful.
worked
No,
extremely
so-
well.
So, apart from these products that we have seen now and we have spoken about, you are also getting into other products now as far as the Indian military is concerned?
We make small arms,
Yeah.
we make ammunition.
Yeah, I
For
was going to come
exports.
to that. Yeah, exactly.
So we are exporting a very large quantity of ammunition.
Right.
Fortunately, we had a plant to make ammunition. We just kind of retooled it up.
Right.
We also make the anti-tank guided missile in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Called the Spike.
Uh-huh. I see.
We make that there.
Right.
And that is, we got an order to supply the anti-tank guided missiles now.
Right. Okay.
And we make a host of other things. We
Yeah,
make
I'm sure.
Anti-tank mines.
You're also into naval systems, if I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
correctly. Yeah.
We are building the naval 76 millimeter gun.
Gun.
Now we are going to work on the 127 millimeter main gun that goes
Okay, yeah,
on
on the ship that
big,
they have.
big naval ships.
Right. Oh, wonderful, sir. I need to take a break, but don't go away. I'm going to be with Mr. Kalyani in their center, AI-based or AI-aided research and AI-enabled
Development center.
Development center.
Engineering Development
Engineering
Center.
Development Center, which is some distance away, because that's the future. And he is actually also passionate about how Indian military should get more digitized rather than analogous. And he is going to contribute to all that. So we'll talk about that. Don't go away.
So we are also going to do design engineering using digital and AI technologies. And we are going to get about 4 to 6 startups here in AI in specific domains where we
Right.
are interested in.
Okay.
And we're going to give them space free of cost and
wonderful.
ability to use whatever we have here in terms of tools.
So again, trying to be ahead of the curve. That's your specialty, I think. And as I see it, so let's enter and
So
see
we have a lot
what
of
exactly.
informal space. We have formal spaces.
Right.
And we have informal spaces.
Yes.
We have individual spaces. So some guy wants to do work, in a
Inside.
quiet.
Right.
He can go in that cubicle, put his laptop,
Okay.
and do things.
And so
And
these are the
these are screens that can show you. This is showing the IoT.
Yes.
Basically, digital twins of our existing plant. That's our
that's your
big
existing
press.
plan. Yes.
Is showing our operation of the big press. This
Right.
is our plant in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's live, by the way.
Okay.
There's a plant in the US. This is live.
Oh,
It's showing filter box one is having a problem.
that's right.
Filter box 2 is working okay. He'll show you whether the robots are working okay.
Right. Okay. So it's real time.
Oh, it's all real time. Real time
monitoring here,
yeah.
and then I can see something here informal that you mentioned. So why is it this designed for what?
This is actually when we get our customers or we get our own engineers or management people,
Right.
they want to see something happening or a little training
Right.
on this, we can make that happen.
Oh, wonderful. And so there's a multi-use of this
Yeah.
facility and also the screens and the facility. And you also have some lab you were mentioning.
Yeah. So we will go to, we have our AI, VR, AR lab
Okay.
where the actual design happens. So all the engineers working on a CAD system,
Right.
a CAE system, all the data of CAD CAE gets automatically entered.
It's all here. Okay. Is it here? Okay. Right.
You need to wear one of those glasses.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. Sorry.
These are M4.
Yes, sir. So obviously you show it to customers
Yeah.
and others here, and it can have 360.
Yeah, and you can
I mean,
see the
3D.
sections.
Yeah.
You can convert it into an exploded view.
Right.
You can get the bill of materials
Oh, okay.
from it.
Right.
You can make sure that there are no interferences anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the tolerances and fits are all okay.
Right. Oh,
So you
there
can
you
get
are.
a section of it.
Correct. Mm.
You can
Absolutely.
even, if you use those that stick, you can
Yeah.
even get a feeling what happens when you sit inside it.
Okay. So it's like the skeleton is being
Yeah,
shown of the
exactly.
vehicle. Yeah, exactly.
So some army guys come and say, no, I want some
The
change
seat to be
here
that
or
side.
some
Yeah.
here, there.
Yeah, exactly.
All that is very easy to do,
Right. Oh, wonderful.
which otherwise would take weeks to make happen.
But if I may ask a very fundamental and maybe a stupid question, what made you do this? Because you could have continued with your normal systems.
Speed. We
Speed.
want speed.
Okay.
And we want to use digital technology. The advantage with digital technology is you can change digits
Yeah.
instantaneously.
Right.
With CAD CAM and
Yeah.
CAE, some engineer has to physically draw the line,
Right.
draw the curve,
Right.
draw these things, and it takes, although it's faster than doing it manually,
Yes.
but still takes a lot of time.
Absolutely.
Whereas here, it's virtually one-fourth the time.
Absolutely. So.
So I can have suites of, for example, seats.
Right.
I can have 10 configuration of seats
Correct.
outside.
Right.
And if somebody says I want a different type of seat, I can remove this and put that one
Okay.
in 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. And then you can then
Yeah.
try it out whether this
Yeah.
works or not.
So all the agronomical designs,
Right.
so where you're sitting there,
Yes.
are you able to touch the buttons?
Ah.
Are you able to touch the screen?
Right. Right.
All that touch and feel is possible.
Oh, so
using this.
gives you the real-time experience and
exactly.
practical experience.
Exactly. So you can first do the design.
Yeah. Right.
You can do the bill of material. That means what are the separate components that go into making this,
Absolutely.
and then the finished product, you can get a touch and feel.
Excellent. And you also mentioned that at some point, maybe 2-3 years down the line, there will be controls in your hand here where you will not require human intervention to run some plants abroad.
Yeah.
That outside when you show
That's IoT.
IoT.
That's a simple technology now.
Yes.
5 years ago, it was complex.
Okay.
Uh,
And now this
that
is
by
this is the
creating
future. Yeah.
that is digital twin.
Right. Okay.
So when you have a digital twin and you have access to the system there
Right.
through the internet
Sure.
or through your IP system,
Sure.
then you can control any robot, machine,
Absolutely.
anything you want.
Yeah. No, wonderful. So here you said that you are going to look at AI and get startups to come here.
Yeah.
So what are the
So
areas
in
you're going to get
in
into?
any product,
Uh-huh.
there will be some AI technologies
Okay.
that we will use.
Right.
Also,
Okay.
it's very good for training.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For the user, if he wants to, he can make a training module.
Yeah, out of this, because if he wants his jawans or the
exactly.
operators to understand which lever works, what happens, it's wonderful. I think this is the future. And I remember you saying this in that conference on Saturday in the Southern Command, where you said that the Indian military should start thinking of converting from analogous to digital, because otherwise we'll be left behind, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the gun, of course, you mentioned that it's got all
fully
the
digital.
fully digital. Now, when you design the light tank,
It's fully digital.
you will also look
Oh,
at fully digital.
So if I'm using, let's say, any maintenance activity,
Right.
and I can also, if I want to see whether there is a clearance at all possible or not, whether this tool is going to go, my hand will be easily reachable, I'll be able to do all of that. So it will give you immediate haptic feedback.
Okay.
You can't move your hand here because there is a obstruction in
Or
between.
your head will collide if you are trying to.
Right,
It shows
right.
that.
So that shows all of that.
Yeah, so it gives you the forewarning and also the foresight into what you're doing. Yeah, wonderful. I think we have come a long way from all those handmade handmade tools to this one, and so like this.
So with your head movement, you can basically move from that side of the design to this side of the design.
Right.
Without actually moving anything.
If you see, there are 4 cameras which are tracking his head actually.
Ah,
And there
okay.
are antennas on his goggle.
Right, right,
And it is
right.
practically his head movement.
Right.
And the way he moves,
Yes.
entire things moves. accordingly.
Yeah, like they do in the aircraft, helmet mounted controls that they have in something similar. Yeah, wonderful. So I must compliment you, sir, for looking at it in a futuristic way, and because one would think in a world's largest forging company, all this would be alien. So I think you've done a great.
Not very alien.
Great, yeah. This is not clearly. It's not very alien, and it shows that you are keeping up not only with the times but being ahead of the curve. So, and it shows you have a green
It's a real treat.
ESG kind of a feel also you want to give, and therefore. So I must thank you for your time and your
Real pleasure,
conversations, sir.
Nitin.
And
Real
I can
pleasure.
wish Bharat Forge and you only greater success going ahead.
I think we have to thank all the guys at the MOD, the Honorable Raksha Mantri, the Defense Secretary, all the service chiefs.
That's right.
And they have given tremendous encouragement to us.
It's wonderful, wonderful to know that. So I'm going to end here, and of course, don't go away. We are in this conversation for the series on the shop floor, and I couldn't have had a greater privilege than having Mr. Baba Kalyani on this program in this episode of On the Shop Floor. I'm Nitin Gokhale.